The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
John Facenda, NFL Films, The Autumn Wind. How great is that? They just signed Michael Crabtree too.
The music in the background was
it's so
NFL
epic. Films.
I know. It's like classic vintage NFL films. There will never be anything like NFL Films. John Facenda actually passed away about 6 months ago to the guy that's the voice of that. So that's why it kind of came to mind when I was thinking about doing these East-West rosters, talking a little bit of football. I was like, I'll grab some NFL Films music. And then the first thing that came to my mind was that clip, because that's the guy that really cemented what NFL Films is all about in a way. So,
before you get into this,
yeah.
Did you guys lead off the top by celebrating 420 with everyone, or did you just let that go?
Was that a thing?
That's today.
Oh, goodness me.
See?
Why did that
you
always
didn't even wish people a happy 420. What kind of radio host are you? What kind of campus radio host are you, man?
I'm more interested in the Coronas I'm going to be having in 2 days at the Washington Nationals baseball game against the St. Louis Cardinals in Washington, D.C. than I am about 420.
I think it's legal there. Good segue.
In
I
DC?
think
No, it's not.
Washington
It's the
State.
District of Columbia, not Washington State.
Whatever. Close enough.
Just Obama in the White House. No.
Hey, man. They play by their own rules out there. Seriously.
That's true. I want to talk a little bit about CIS football. I'm sorry I didn't get any 420 shoutouts in. Happy 420, everybody. If that's a thing that you, I'm just not. I have no interest in that whatsoever. So that's okay. I'm sure I bring up things all the time that you have no interest in, so we're even. We got bobbleheads. I wanted to start adding some things to the set here. So they're not actually in the studio. I messaged
I want to add them to the set. Yeah. And I just didn't.
Yeah. They're sitting about 100 feet away from me down at the CFMU office under the careful watch of Tyler Welch, our community outreach coordinator.
Shout out to Welch.
Who is standing over top of the bobbleheads right now. I texted him to bring them in once we started the show because I forgot, and he hasn't responded. So
maybe he's not in.
I don't know what he's doing, but that's okay.
He's just making sure they're constantly bobbling.
Yeah, just you shall not stop moving. It's like the things that used to go back and forth, the marbles go back.
Yes.
He's just sitting making sure they go. Anyways, I tweeted a picture of our Tim McAuliffe and Andy Fantuz bobbleheads. The Andy Fantuz one is awesome. It's from when he was at Western, and I think it's perfect. It looks great. It's amazing that they had a bobblehead day like I talked about with that Allison Kenny last week, where more CIS schools should have bobbleheads, but they're so expensive to make.
If you have a bobblehead, all I think of is Shania Twain. Looks like you made it.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, good for you.
Wow, I didn't know what that's referencing.
I thought you were going to say that. Don't impress me much.
That too, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Depends who you are.
All right.
I think it's pretty sweet.
Andy Fantuz and Tim McAuliffe both responded to our tweet of the picture of sending out our bobbleheads, said bobbleheads. Fantuz just said, ha ha ha, awesome, which, thanks, Andy. And, hey, at least he responded. And McAuliffe said, Fantuz may have a couple more catches than I do, but he carries the rock like a loaf of bread. That's the first thing I noticed.
That's
when I got the Fantuz bobblehead. He's holding the ball like by its top. It's the most awkward, it's the most unnatural way that a person would ever hold a ball. But we'll have those on the set. If you have any ideas of things you want us to put on.
How many venue cups did he win?
The OUA today's set? I don't think any. Yeah.
Well?
No. I think he went.
No, I'm just joking.
Did he go with, why, are you like want me to flash rings or something?
No, like I was, that'd be awesome. No, it's just funny, like, carries it like a loaf of bread and then it's like, oh, well, you didn't win any venues. It's probably why. Maybe why.
Okay. Yes. No, he's a good player. He had to try with the Falcons. He's on the tag still.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And he got married last summer.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Big time. I threw with him last summer. And he
at his wedding.
Throws
the rings.
I crashed it.
We throw the rings to the altar from the back.
Andy, I got you. I threw with him 2 days before he got married last summer. And then a bunch of the guys from the Ticats that I was throwing with went and took him for a beer at lunch and said, here's your final beer.
Wow.
They bought him for him, like middle of the day, Rolling Rock at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They're just like, enjoy it, because it's over. It's good knowing you. There was a guy at karaoke at a place I was at a couple weeks ago as well that sang a Lionel Richie song.
Your fave.
Oh, I know. I can't remember off the top of my head what
Was it
song
Lady?
it was. It was a very sad song, slow Lionel Richie song, very popular one. I forget the name of it right now, but he sang it, and then he dedicated it to his friend who just got married. It was like as if his friend was dying, kind of thing. Typical, but it was funny. It was very funny in the middle of the bar, like just ridiculous. We have the Tim McAuliffe bobblehead on the set. Tim McAuliffe is going to become more a part of the show because we've got all these great clips of him. Ready for this?
Are you kidding me? You know, you go to war with these guys each and every day for 5 years.
I wish I had this one for the end of the CIS basketball championship.
The Gigi's fans are stunned in silence.
That has nothing to do with Tim McAuliffe, but I wanted to include it.
Countdown on 30, 20, 10, touchdown to win it. The snap and hold good. The kick is long enough, but it is wide to the right. They win the game. They have won the game. Breaks the tackle on the 20. It's a pick six for the Mustangs. I'm not sure anyone lost here. We just ran out of time. Special players make special plays on special days.
Awesome. We played John Facenda as one of those voices that people remember from NFL films, and like Tim is the voice of OUA football. Don't get it twisted. He
just got real sassy.
So now we got a McAuliffe bobblehead on the set. Here's my favorite one. Has a bit of a personal connection because Stu Turnbull went to my high school in Kingston, but him hitting game winner against UBC.
They get it in deep to Turnbull. Stu Turnbull for the win. He got it.
That's a good call. That's a sick sound clip. That's one of those like NCA where they use it in the commercials where the sound goes off. And
it sounds, oh, what's his name?
Gus Johnson.
Gus Johnson.
Yeah.
That's
Stokely down that sideline.
Yeah, it sounds just the same.
That might be my favorite CIS basketball call of all time. Just throwing it out there. East-West football. Should get to it. East side is comprised of student athletes representing the schools from the AUS and RACQ conferences, as well as Carleton, Ottawa, Queens, and Toronto. It's very interesting because the rosters are split across the OUA for the East and the West. The West contingent is made up of players from Canada West and the remaining OUA universities. Will Finch and James Fracas of Laurier will lead the West offense at Molson Stadium. Mount Allison's Brandon Lay and Saskatchewan's Drew Burko will be the quarterbacks for the East team. So the West is both OUA quarterbacks represented by Western and Laurier. East prevailed 1912 a year ago in London to claim its fourth win in the past 5 years. The only year that...
wow, that's a dud of a game. Holy.
Yeah. Well, there's been a couple of rough scores in this game, but 34-27 for the East in 2011 was pretty awesome, though. And the one year that the West has won, your boy played and threw 2 picks.
Yes!
Wow.
Austin Kennedy, who we had on last week, was the starting quarterback. He played the first and the third quarter, and I was the closer. I was the second and the fourth, threw 1 pick in both of those quarters. And now I'm here.
Put that on the highlight reel.
Best part, yeah, and it threw them both to the same guy who got drafted by the Calgary Stampeders as safety.
There you go. You
Well,
made
at
him
least
look
he was
good,
good.
man. You're benevolent.
French safeties are magnets to balls that I throw.
Yeah.
Montreal guy got me twice. Laval guy got me twice in the, anyways.
Throw it on the highlight
the
reel.
funnest part about that game, Tyler Crapina was the kicker for both teams. So
why?
Because they didn't have a kicker for the other side.
Respect.
So Crapina was standing on our sideline, the west side, because that was, McMaster was part of that west team.
Yeah.
But he was also required to be a part of the East kicking squad. So he would kick all the field goals for them. At the end of the game, it comes down. Notice the score of that game in 2013. West 18, East 17. We were down 2. I drove, I shouldn't say drove, I threw a screen and everybody did the work. And the ball got down to about the 30-yard line. Crapina goes up, nails the game winner, what we think it is. Great. Then Billy McPhee comes in for the East team, drives his team the length of the field, and Crapina has to try and kick for the win for the East on the team that he just sealed the loss for. Misses the kick wide left, and the West wins as time expires.
Did you talk to, like, how How much did he want to hit that?
One of the funniest psychological experiments that the
I
CIS
couldn't
has ever
imagine
created.
being nervous.
Yeah.
Like, if you're on the sideline, you're like, what is he going to do? This is way more fun to watch him have to make this decision.
Tyler gets he's locked in. He's an intense guy. He kind of walked to the sideline after he missed it, and I looked at him just like dying laughing because I couldn't believe that was what the game came down to. And he just kind of shrugged at me. He's like, I did it once. Like, I did 2 minutes ago for you guys. Like, don't expect me to make every single kick.
Oh my God.
And if he's an intense guy, then
yeah.
I think I think it would be different.
But after
you'd be like,
6
I
days-
just did that.
Yeah.
Why do I care about doing it again?
It's true. After 6 days of practicing and being in London and up and down weather and being in the heat and kicking for both teams, at the end of the week, he was like, listen, I'm mentally exhausted.
Like the last man standing.
I already made one game winner.
Yeah.
Like I can't make two in 30 seconds apart. So, I will list off, we're running out of time here on the show because I rambled like always, but I'll list off the players from the OUA that are going to be a part of the CIS East-West game. Running back, Lucas Gavick from Toronto. Receiver, Doug Corby, who's a stud from Queen's University. Receiver, Levi Noel from Toronto. Offensive lineman, Bobby Thompson from Carleton. Dylan Walmsley from the Queen's Gales is the kicker. Defensive line, Stephen Carty from Carleton. Defensive lineman, Aaron Jervis from Toronto. Defensive lineman, Rashid Timbala from Ottawa. Linebacker, Tanner Kerr from Ottawa. Marc-Antoine Laurent from Ottawa. John Connors from Toronto as well. And John Connors, he's the Terminator.
It's a good name.
Isn't that amazing? There's a guy
man.
that played for the New York Jets in Hard Knocks a couple of years ago named John Connor that was a fullback. Look it up. John Connor, Hard Knocks. You won't be disappointed. He destroys people in the preseason, and Rex Ryan is running up and down the bench.
Love it.
Getting all excited. And then for the West squad, we're going to have Will Finch at quarterback, James Fracas at quarterback from Laurier, Declan Cross and Wayne Moore, fullback running back tandem from McMaster. That'll be fun to watch. I know those guys pretty well. George Johnson from Western, who's a freak of a receiver, used to play basketball as well. Greg Nyhoff, extremely talented receiver from Laurier. Randy Beardy from Windsor. Jamal Campbell, offensive lineman from York. Kyle Fraser Audit from Guelph. Zach Instance from McMaster. Sean Jameson from Western. Taz Martin from Waterloo. That West offense, stacked.
Yeah.
Like those guys you see, fullback, running back, two really good receivers. And these are just the OUA guys.
Finch and Johnson.
Yeah, Finch and Johnson playing together with the help of Wayne Moore running the rock and Declan Cross. Like, that's going to be freakish. Defense for the West team, Rupert Butcher from Western, Donnie Eggeter from Guelph, Paul Kaija from Waterloo, Brandon Corelli from Waterloo, Curtis Newton, Guelph, Anthony Petrucci from Laurier, Frank Renaud from Windsor, Michael Ranowski from York, Austin Crum, Windsor, Tristan Dauphin, Guelph, Josh Small, York. I should mention as well, 34 OUA football players are attending as of right now on the rosters, all the ones I just listed. And go to @FenderGuy69, Mark Fulton, which is the weirdest Twitter address ever. And I hate that I had to include that at the end, but he is I know. Go to @FenderGuy69.
Come on, Mark.
Mark Fulton. He actually puts out really awesome CFL statistical analysis graphs.
I've seen those.
Yes.
I've seen
He's
those.
a great follow. Okay?
You're so red
That's
right
why
now.
that's why I brought it up. So he put up one of the percentage of players that are from the OUA that are playing in the CFL right now, because guys from this East-West game usually move on to the CFL evaluation camp and beyond. 22% of the nationals that are in the CFL come from OUA schools right now, which is leading among all of the other conferences. So that is pretty much the end of the East-West talk there. Tweets of the week, fly through them. Amanda, you want to fly through these for me?
Yeah, Mike Daly News 8. Love that handle. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Really
Daily
excited
News.
to coach the Hamilton Ironmen this year. Again, a big step needs to be taken from last year. We have great guys to do it. Love to see guys who are alumni coaching the kids. Queen's Gales football season tickets on sale now. Ensure priority seating in revitalized stadium for 2016 link. Make sure that you check out all of your school details so that you do not miss out this season.
Should mention as well really quick, Queens football, Ryan Sheehan moving on to the University of Calgary.
Yep.
Yeah,
Saw that.
That's a big deal this week. So
Okay. Female Coach Network @FemaleCN. Don't let stereotypes stand in your way. A blog by Brenda Willis. She's the head coach at the Queens men's volleyball team, so really cool to see that women influence in men's sport. Lakehead Campus Recreation @Lakehead CR. Moksha Yoga Thunder Bay is hosting a free week. Check out the schedule for listing times and class times. Make sure that you're doing some prehab before your seasons this year, so you don't have to do rehab once you're done. And the most exciting news of last week, Marshall Tweedo from our OUA handle @OUA Today, currently updating our iTunes podcast library with archives of our past shows so that you can catch up on news and events if you're new. Hashtag OUA.
They are all updated, and the audio from this show will be up on iTunes within the next hour. That's how we roll. We get it up as soon as we can on iTunes.
That's how we roll.
And then the video podcast goes up later if you prefer to have a video catch you up as well. Last one for you. Lou Holtz apparently is out at ESPN, and he's a personal favorite of mine because he was so entertaining when he was there. This is why I love Lou Holtz. This is him responding to a question on their panel not long ago.
That we anticipated. They will get to talk a whole lot more at halftime. I promise.
Well, I don't get they bring me in cold,
but they're counting down 7-6-5.
Woo! I think I know why he wasn't necessarily fit for broadcasting. Great coach, great guy, very entertaining, but this is a new sound clip on our board.
Well, I don't get they bring me in cold.
That's for when we have the Monday morning syndrome and we're not able to put together a sentence. Thank you everybody for listening. We do appreciate it. How to reach out to the show at OUA Today, as we mentioned, at Marsh2Fergs, at Scott1Hasty because Scott one-upped me, and at Weldon Amanda because she doesn't like numbers. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, the podcast. You guys will be back next Monday.
Sure will.
I'm gonna be on the beach getting a burn.
I'll sure will.
Thank you everybody for listening. Scott and Amanda, thank you for being here and taking part, and look forward to having you guys running the show next week while I'm running around, okay?
It'll be jokes.
Yeah. Can't wait.
We're going to be running around.
I'm going to be listening live. I'll make sure that the tune-in link is tweeted out for people. I'll be tweeting in once every 5 seconds just to make sure that everything's okay.
And we'll be
it's going to be
them.
Good things. Relax. I'm going to be
all
excited.
Good things, all
good things. All good things. All right. Thank you everybody for listening. Have a great week.